Alright, welcome back to another episode of Game Crafters, where today I'm just going to opt into doing the music, opt out of doing the music, I would probably say, and just going ahead and make a nice little level. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Oh, oops, right now. So, first things first, I am building the section of which there will be several enemies coming around the corner. That would be the idea, right? So there's at least a few of these guys along a set path. I'm doing it like this so I have an easier time figuring out where they need to be and how they're going to be. I would say there at least needs to be a few of them. So I'd say one more should be fine. Now I should premise, or whatever the hell the word is my tired ass brain is trying to formulate words and sentences, and it's not really going too well for obvious reasons, because I am so freaking tired. But that's fine, because I can make this without too many issues. We're creating a level right outside of one of the first gates you can come across that you can open as soon as you get into the zone. So it's not too bad, I must say. Just trying to figure out the particular direction here. Because this is going to be a spiraling course, I guess. There'll be enemies. It's going to be like a lake. That's essentially the idea with this here, right? So the player kind of just starts here. It's a nice, quick, well, I wouldn't say a quick, simple level, but it is a relatively quick level. Quick level in the sense that it's not too much to have to get through, right? You don't have to go, like, too far out. You just have, like, the sides and whatnot. This is essentially just, what do you call it? A continuation of the branching off path, which I guess, if I remember what the level that was, I think it would be this one, right? Yeah, see how that does that? Consider that like a little showcase of what this area is. Just a continuation of that. Another lake. So yeah, that's what this level is, at least thematically here. So there's like two different paths. You got this one path, and then you find yourself in another lake. Now there's a few things that have to be done here, of course. I think ideally everything is set up in a way where you have to go down a certain path. So there's going to be like little bits and pieces in the lake that is open up for you to have to go through. Just gotta remember what area needs to be shown here. And what area needs to be, like, closed off. So I feel like ideally, because you gotta remember, you can go quite fast too. And also, what I probably should get taken care of right here, right now, is not that. This. This is what I should be getting taken care of. I feel like these guys should be a nice, solid clockwise, right? So if that's the case, then you're going to be a 1. You're going to be a 2. Yeah, that's the wrong direction. You're going to be a 3. You're going to be a 0. I don't know the particular angle of which these enemies are in right now. Doesn't seem like they're in any specific angle. Like, these guys at least make sense just due to where they're at right now. I gotta say, I really do like that I found this out. Well, you're unable to see it. That I found this out, because this is just very useful for a game like this that really doesn't need much in the way of shaders outside of the map, of course, because that's the only one that really needs it. Okay, so these enemies are going to be obviously not in sync. So they're going to be doing their own thing. I want to just see if we can probably create somewhat of a spiral, because we can't like close the enemies off as well as I'd like to think I can. I mean, at the very least, probably do something like that. Because you could definitely get there in like 7 seconds if you're going in that direction. So I feel like ideally you want to have a path here that kind of forces you to go around the enemies here, right? But also ideally we do more than just these guys here. How much more exactly? Well, I don't want to go too much into it just yet. No, not just yet. We don't want to do that. Okay, so how the hell do I want to do this to make this go way quicker? I guess I do this. Let's see. And this is gonna be tricky. Especially if I need to see underneath the enemy to make sure the water actually went where it needed to go to. I would say put the water underneath the enemy so we just have that there and ready. And then I guess I just figure out, okay, you're grabbing a whole pause menu. I don't want you to do that. I don't know why you're doing that. Like, what would be the quickest way to do this? I don't want to overlap anything either, because that's not ideal. Ugh, freaking finger. Pinky. Pinky is tired. Don't know why. Pinky is tired. And that's just how it be. Don't worry, I'm going to fill in the blanks soon. And I'm going to hide all the enemies just to make sure that they have everything they need. Whoops. Well, I will say that actually did help a lot. Because now a whole bunch of these enemies here have been completely, what you call it? The cat's looking at something. What? I don't know what, but she's looking at something. What you looking at, Boosh? You see another cat out there? Yes, probably. Yeah, then once I figure out where the hell these enemies are, all I gotta do is just figure out the path here that I want people to take. Now this is a spiraling lake, that's for certain. Alright. Hide these for now. Okay, everything is set. Now there's one thing I just want to test first and foremost before I bother doing anything. I can just get over here, right? Yeah, pretty much. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to prevent E from going here without having to add any lava. Yeah, because if the enemies are going clockwise, you're supposed to go kind of against the current, right? That is a good question. Unless... And, I'm not sure. That I am uncertain of. Although I could probably maybe add like several enemies going around in a very particular pattern. So you're kind of forced to have to go a specific path, and you most likely won't be able to get past the enemies. I think that might be the ideal solution when it comes to something like this. You make a relatively difficult section that if you can get past it, and with ease that is, then you can do that. But I also wanted to have a simplistic path that you can take. And I was able to make it. Trying to see if there's anything more I can do with this section. Because you got the enemy like following your ass, but you can definitely make it. You can make it if you try. I would say maybe like another one. But that's not gonna work because there's no wall there to make it rotate. Unless we have the wall down here, but unless I move this over here and I just have this kind of going, inwards like so. And have the water kind of just spilling out like it's a part of the lake so the water expands. I think still in the end it's going to be a simple case of, well, just pass the enemy. Yeah, you still can get to there. I mean, the other option would be to just put another enemy here. And another enemy here. But then again, if we want the players to be able to go down that route, I don't know if that's even possible anymore. Unless instead of this, we have several vertical enemies here. Yeah, that's a good way to prevent players from getting past sections you don't want them to get past without having to use a lava mechanic. Have several enemies here. Like, sure, you could probably dodge the enemy, but it probably won't really work too well in your favor with time and all that stuff. I mean, if it even is possible. These guys move way quicker. And my brain right now is not... Yep, no. I am in no capable ways of dodging enemies at this point in time, so that's not going to be a possibility, that's for certain. So you're going down this path, then. It would seem. So these paths are basically just unsafe paths, correct? You go through here, you try to get through without, getting hit by the enemy. I could probably put the enemies down here, actually, so that they separate from the others. Yep, going against the current. I would say we could probably put like a nice little area here. Yeah. But if that's the case, then that means this area kind of would need... I mean, I do like this idea, though, of the area just being, like, completely inundated with a bunch of enemies. Oh, that one might just be possible to get by, so maybe we put, like, 2 here. Let's at least see. Does that look possible? Could be possible. Very difficult to do, so you probably just want to avoid that path, right? Don't want to go down there. Oh, that was a close one. Barely had enough time for that one. What direction are you guys going in again? Counterclockwise? I see. So you want to get to the middle here. Looks like a little island, I would say. Let me think here. I think we probably have like a vertical enemy here. Makes sense, right? Where do I put my horizontal enemies? If I had any, that is. I didn't have any. All right, well, I'm going to just put one in right now. Again, just another... Well, actually, we could probably do this, right? So you want to kind of go spiral a bit, right? Spiral a little. End up with the same conundrum. Only difference is it's, you know, doing that, so you kind of are forced to have to go down this route. I mean, which if that is the case... I'd say we could probably have at least some of these here, right? And I guess to keep these on the same level, I will move this downwards here. Yeah, remember, we want this to be the path that the players take, so they go around, go here, go up there, boom. There's a nice cheeky level with no crates, no keys, locks, lava, or anything like that. No poison, nor ice. Just the water level. Which makes sense given the fact that this is coming off of a one that has a big water level spiraling, or not big water level, a big water section spiraling into one of the levels there. I was just wondering if I should put an enemy there, but I don't know if that's what we want. I also don't know if that's a bit too steep. Depends, and if I want to have an enemy here. Because these guys are moving like at 5, so I don't know if that's gonna work. Man. I mean, I could definitely at least see the horizontal enemies here still working, right? Just don't do anything more to it than just, that's just about the right amount, right? And that one's Dodge Central. Alright. Treat this as as if it's the thing that we're doing. Alright. Oh, okay, well, I didn't see that coming. This is going to be a little painful and tricky with my lack of sleep. That's death. You gotta like pick and choose your moments to move, and I did not choose properly. Man, it really cuts it close there, don't it? Oh, I forgot the third spiral. God damn it. Alright, let's see. I think probably ideal to wait for the enemies there to pass, probably. Yeah, there goes that. Now we probably want to... Oh, wait, that's a problem. Well, it's not really a problem if I go about that in a very particular manner, right? God. I'm doing that way too close for comfort. That's what I'm freaking doing. Nope, right. I forgot about that enemy. Is that enemy there a bit too much? Because it's so difficult to see when I'm so freaking tired. Alright, let's see. Where are you at? No clue. I'll just surpass you. I have time to get there if I just go as soon as... Okay, never mind. That might be a bit too difficult. I'm not sure. Do we change the difficulty a bit? Wait for this guy to pass. And it's like, okay, I forgot that guy. I forgot that guy. Man, I am in no state to be doing this. That is for certain. Alright, let's try it again, but this time with a little less suck. Alright, let me just... We want to try to go as soon as that guy goes, so that we can go as... I had the chance, but I failed miserably. Alright, let me see what I can do to make at least the beginning part flow better. I think maybe put this guy here and this guy here will probably help. You're only here as a means to make it so that the player is forced to have to move. And you're here as a means to kind of keep the player from moving. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the difference between one block? A lot, apparently. I could probably move this back 1. Or maybe not back 1, but have it like this. Yeah. So that way it's not too steep of a, That being here probably makes this slightly easier, or it might make it very difficult. I guess we'll find out. Maximize. It kind of makes that easier. You're still kind of pressed for time, but that's no surprise there. Okay, that spiral is still freaking... Oop, nope, don't do that yet. Okay. Whoa. And that's pretty quick, but very, very tricky. Let me see if I can move you a little bit more. Because how much is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just want to see if this part can be made easier. The beginning section usually makes or breaks it, right? Yeah, like that one's definitely easier. And you got the middle part over here. I would say that, being there would work perfectly, but I don't know. And you can get there. It's just about the same time as that, right? Wonder if I could maybe do that. Make that bit more of a tricky bit. If anything, I would say put these guys here. You could be the one. You could be the one, Jerry. See if that makes a difference. I don't know if that's going to make a difference because that's kind of going in its own little pattern, right? Unless... It does make a nice little pattern in the spiral bit there. Yeah, it has like the diagonal in that direction again. Diagonal in this direction this time. And goes back to the other diagonal twice. So at that point you kind of... I do like that. I wonder what it was before. I don't remember what it was before. I think it was a bit confusing before. But surprisingly, that lines up quite nicely. Does it line up well with this, though? Yeah, that part's confusing. This is definitely an interesting look to a game, because you got instances like this where it looks so confusing. But if you know where all the enemies are, then you know where to move, you know when to dodge, you know how to do all that stuff, right? It is very much so... I mean, I guess in this instance, you want to be patient when you're in the water, right? If you're not patient, like I am there, and then I'm about to drown. I survived. I oblige with only trivial brain damage. Yeah, like this part, you're kind of just meant to just sit to the side, see where the enemy is at. There's only like a few instances where the enemy there kind of just does his thing, right? And then you make it. It's a quick level. Quick level, but tricky. Also, for some reason, this is just bugged out. I don't know why. But hey, that's nice. I do like that, though. And I think that's a good... What do you call it there? I think. Yeah, I do believe. And like I said, keep in mind, this is where the gate is, right? This is the side path from the second split path, I guess you would call it, which would essentially just be where the water level is. Or I should say water levels are. So that's essentially what this level is. A nice spiraling path, essentially. Very tricky, but ideally you're meant to just sit there and wait. Wait a tiny bit. Now, I think you can go past this section here, but it's probably not worth doing. It's probably better to go the other way. The path of least resistance, I would say. Because again, you want to get through this. You don't want to take too long. Do I want to see if that path is possible? I'm sure it is. At least in that instance, that's like, hey, here's a choice. This one seems impossible. Might actually be quite possible. Might be easier somehow if you know what the path is. If you don't know what the path is, you're most likely going to die a bunch, right? Yeah. But that is essentially what that is. A relatively difficult path, or at least a relatively difficult looking path. Can I say it's possible? I haven't tested it out yet, so I wouldn't know. I mean, I could probably give it a shot. See if it's possible then, but... These are the kinds of things that do require tests. That's why we're supposed to be here to test, right? The entire purpose of solo game development is to test your games. And not just be like, yeah, that should be good. But I don't know if my brain is mentally capable right now, in this current state of moment, to be able to actually see if that's possible. I'm kind of just going off of, yeah, that should definitely be possible. I see no reason for it not to be possible, that's for certain. You just gotta, like, figure out where the enemies are going. Like, yeah, you have another enemy there kind of just doing its thing, or doing their thing. Getting in your way, doing all their crap, kind of makes things difficult for you, the player, really. But, I would say might not be that impossible. Who could say, really? It's just funny to think that, yeah, you get to look at what the level looks like. But honestly, is that going to help you too much when there's so many enemies moving around and you don't know where they could be possibly moving to? Like, for all you know, these guys here are vertical, preventing you from trying to get inside of there. Which I would say might be a nice way to go about doing that. But with the enemies here, you're like, well, are they moving horizontally? Nobody really knows. Nobody knows until you go inside the level, and then you know. Then you see the path. The path that looks the most possible, basically. I think everything here looks good. I'm trying to look multiple times in this fugued state of tiredness, because it's 5:21, as you might be able to see. I think. I hope. It's so blurry when I look at the screen here, but maybe in full screen you can see it. I don't know. You be the judge of that. I'm going to continue. Wait, no. pull that up and do that. There we go. And just continue to observe my surrounding here and just make sure this is good. Looks good. Seems good. Feels like everything's in the right spot. Everything looks the same. Thing is, if we miss one block, then it's just not going to be accurate. I don't want to miss one block. Don't like missing one block. I'd like for it to be accurate. Again, player don't count because the player marks are there. It really does seem like it's good. I'm gonna hope. I'm hoping beyond hope. Alright, I'm gonna crop this now. And I'm gonna save this in its slot. Save as. Textures. Zone 2. Pinch. 19. Alright, got it. I'm going to probably just leave this open for now. I'm not going to change out that. Don't need to worry about that right now. Now I'll just minimize this. And this is where it needs to be, right? Yep. Should be 6-0. I'm pretty sure it should be 6-0. I've made the mistakes before, and it's a very annoying dilemma when the mistakes are made. Alright, let's just move this into here. I'm gonna get this set up. Oh, let me hide these scripts so I can actually freaking see where I'm going. And then I'm gonna test to see if you can go to there. I don't think you can. Alright, apply, just checking. Okay, good. Yeah. Although I will say, this is probably a million times easier to drag and drop this. Oops. Because all I gotta do is just move it over to here. And I guess also select, okay, well, no, it does work. It does work like that. All right, good. Well, regardless, this makes sense too. Unit unlit default shaders, yeah. It's like a UI, essentially. And this is essentially a UI, so. We're under Q2000. I don't exactly know what that means, but I guess it doesn't matter. Alright. Probably shouldn't have went then and there, but it's fine. I want to see if this is possible. I think I see a relatively reasonable path. Not unless that guy comes along his way. Unless that guy comes. Alright. If I do see a path, I just need to be able to surpass this fool. It is possible. Okay, so we determined that that's possible. You're on the corner. That's great. Let's get out of isometric exercise mode and move on over to the grasslands real quick. And, it's fine that that's possible. Difficult, but possible. If you really want to test your merit and do the level that way, then be my guess. That'd be 3-1, right? Yeah. A nice water lake right in the middle. Alright, great. Don't show me the whole textures, even though it doesn't matter. God. Imagine if that's what we had it look like that. That would be terrible. Hide. I don't know if I showed you all the other stuff that's nearby. All the stuff that I had made prior, but didn't really get to show them. I wanted to make more stuff, but I have so much that I'm going to get finished. So much. Yeah, see, I got this right here. This is a tricky level. And this too. These three are pretty tricky levels, I will say. This one not as bad. This one also not as bad if you know the path. This one, on the other hand, is a little tricky. But there is a nice little system that I have set up in mind for that. Okay. I should also check to see if all of the player marks are hidden. It's always good to do, right? kind of funny that I know where the player marks are supposed to be. I mean, it's relatively simplistic. Especially if you know the player positioning. Oh. Well, again, the player's positioning doesn't matter too much. Forgot that this was left to right, but that's fine. It's a fine. Like I said, doesn't matter that much. So yeah, because I did that one there, I should be able to get to that pretty easily. But that's that. All I'm going to do now is just go in, build it, and yeah, I think this is good. I hope this is good. How much time? Oh yeah, I don't have the timer set. I'm just kind of just going with the vibe right now, and the vibe is it's past a little 30 minutes. I think it's past 30 minutes. I don't want to take too much time because, my god, I'm so tired. And I still gotta get this drawing done with, but I'm gonna have to wait tomorrow and then post it Thursday for Subscribe Star, and then post Nova Guardians on a Saturday, work on a Friday. I'm hoping I have enough time tomorrow after this drawing because the texture shouldn't take too long. The background theoretically shouldn't take too long, but I'm hoping I have enough time to work on the painkiller thumbnail. Also, we have a highlighted comment on one of GTLive videos. So there's a chance, folks. There's a chance Matpat might see my challenge that made him retire from game theory and all the other stuff, and then soon to be GTLive. So there's a chance, folks. Who knows? A good old 59 subscribers getting a theory about a freaking series that no one's going to theorize, because it is not the kind of thing that safe work theorizers would, go and do. That is for certain. Also, where were you again? Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you were in the right spot. Doesn't matter. It's already done its thing. I'm going to do a quick save. I'm hoping next episode I can do some more music, but my god, I'm so tired. Alright, 37. This is fine. I'm going to go on ahead and run this as is. It's fine. Alright, because I'm not exiting out. I put this back to normal because I have something else in mind for this. The thing I have in mind for that... Let me lower that so I can hear myself think. The thing that I have in mind for that part specifically is that it shows the logos, all the other stuff that you usually cite. Forgot to name it. I know I was forgetting something. I'll just complete it. There's no point at this point. Alright. Whoa! It is relatively simple if you know the path you gotta take. But for those that don't know the path, they're probably going to struggle. Alright, well, I don't have the name, but that's fine. I'll have to... I'll come up with a name. What do we want to name that one? I'm not gonna do the thing. I'm just gonna load it in, assuming I can load it in. What you call it, struggling a bit. I might have to go into my task manager. Yes, I am sure. Are you gonna load? I can close that now. Are you gonna load? I don't know. I want to just go into Task Manager and just force close that, I think. Not that one. Not that one either. This one was struggling to load. Can I see this thing? Can you close? Close? Really? You're really not going to close for me. Close window. I say close. Can we start up a new one? There we go. I'm glad you finally decided to come to your senses. Frickin' Christ. Ugh. I feel like I'm in a fever dream with everything just not wanting to work the way it should fucking work. Well, I'm gonna fix this problem right here, right now. It's a very simple fix, too. So what do I want to name level 19? I can't call it a spiraling pond. I would say Thorough Lake. Thorough. Brain's too tired to spell thorough. Lake. Is that it? Is that right? Probably not. Thorough. Oh, I'm in Twitter still, looking at Robotnik. Thorough. Hey, I was right, surprisingly. Damn, I was not expecting that to actually be right. It doesn't look right, but it is right, apparently. Alright, I don't need to really sit through naming, or the thing you need to do. Yet, one step at a time, that's an understatement. Followed by Control Avenue, and then Chaotic Cul-de-sac. Yeah, because that's supposed to be like a house, another house, a fourth house, fences. And that's like another street level. See how that's a street level right here, but this is just another street level right over here. Basically. And that's a gate. And there is a secret with this particular gate here. A very interesting secret that I am curious if people would see and be able to, like, figure that out when the time comes for this game to come out in, like, 10 years. As much as I'd like to get done with this is only a small portion of what would essentially just be a whole freaking area. Maybe not that big, but it's just a lot to do, and I don't have a lot of time with all my projects, so I'm kind of hoping once the things kind of slow down a bit, we can keep up. August really hasn't been a good month. So you're closing now. Great, fantastic. Well, the name is set, this is saved, and that's all, folks. Oh, and as you can see right there, I got that ready for, This is a good old thunderstorm. I can even give you a quick little look at what I have planned right now for the next episode of Legal Company. I got time, right? It's 42 minutes in, even though I probably should close it soon because I don't want to have 6 hours to 5 hours of sleep again. And an annoying thing happened today is there's people checking the heater and they're saying once every year, and I'm like, wait, I had that checked like July. So it's making me think that some fool kind of... Okay, we don't need to see this Coca-Cola ad. I'm just put this over here. Alright, can I go to my... Yep, this is what I have right now. It's just better stamina and reserve flashlight slots. Something simplistic so that we can go in and get 4 loot and not have to worry about stamina too much. The ROTC cats need the help, that's for certain. They lost New Game Plus. They still got their extra lives, though, but aside from that, that's all the time I have for today, folks. I'm tired. I need to stop doing this at the last freaking minute, but I have so many projects that I need to get done with, and I really am so adverse to doing the music right now with what happened to Spit. Good news, they are apparently making an offline mode, which is great, so maybe things will be better. Regardless, that's all the time I have for today, so thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist, and of course, this episode of Game Craft is right over here, and the most recent episode of Raft ROTC edition right over here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode.